Welcome to the Mafia Sports Report. I'm your host, Tommy, and I'm back, baby. I am back. I had no power for 3 days, and yeah, that really that sucks. I'm here because a couple things. One, because I was supposed to have a show on Friday Night Lights with Mikey, but that did not happen due to the fact that I did not have electricity since Wednesday. And I just got my electric back on about an hour ago. So I am all wired up and awake because all I've done is slept for the past few days. There was nothing to do. I had no phone reception in my house. So talk about complete boredom. Uh, yeah, man, it was about as bad as you get. And I gotta say, man, having no power, man, until you lose it, you don't really understand what you had until it's gone. Because God, man, that was brutal. I will say though, the toughest one, the toughest time I ever had when I lost power was in Florida. Uh, it was during Hurricane Wilma, I believe it was, and I lost power for I want to say 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks, and it was like 100 degrees in South Florida. It was so hot, and man, like I almost went and got a hotel because I could not take the heat, guys. It was so brutal, and luckily, it came on right before I got a hotel. So but this was a little different. Hey, what's going on, Daniel? I appreciate you, bro. Yeah, man, it sucks, man. It is. It wasn't just me. 700,000 people in Michigan. So that's why I said it is what it is. I'm not gonna cry. What I mean, I'm not the only one. It's suffering. Except for the people that have generators that were living all around me. Right. That was another thing too, by the way. Trying to sleep at night with generators. It's like it was impossible. It was impossible, but I couldn't go anywhere. I have a dog at and can't leave my pup home alone. Won't do it, can't do it. If she's gonna suffer, I'm gonna suffer. That's how it goes in my household. you know, that's my baby. So it got down to about 40 degrees. I had no phone reception. Like I said, that was awful. There was nothing to do. And me and my dog just basically stayed under the covers and slept, man. It was miserable. Absolutely miserable. I lost power earlier this month for full 8 days. Yeah, man. Last couple of days, I felt like a mountain man. Yeah, bro. I mean, honestly, though, you go to appreciate having power, right? Like, you don't really understand how great it is to have power until it's gone. You know what I'm saying? I feel you, Tommy. No electricity in the Florida heat. Oh my God. You got listen, I'll be honest with you. I'll be straight up with you guys. I could have managed this for weeks. I mean, it would have sucked, but I still had heat. I still not heat. I still had hot water because my tank runs on gas. So I still could take showers, so that's good. But I had no signal. I have stupid ass Metro PCS and I have no signal in my house. If I had signal in my house where I could watch YouTube something, then at least the days wanted to drag. You know what I mean? Like, but with nothing to do, yeah, that you guys don't understand that time goes by so slow. I mean, you probably do understand because I'm sure I'm not the only one that's lost power. But South Florida, oh my God, yo, that was so unbearable. I slept in my car one night, I think, because I had obviously I had AC in my car. It was so bad, and I had two pit bulls at the time, and with them and their body heat in the house, oh my God, forget about it. I had roommates. My one roommate left. He went to his girlfriend's that had power. It was so miserable. But man, I get it. It was a hurricane. Like, power cord lines were down. Like here, honestly, guys, you would have thought a tornado came and like swept away all the the trees, power lines are all over the place. No, man, nothing like that. It was like it was a winter storm. It was rain, cold rain that basically iced up on the lines and yeah, and drug the lines down, I guess. I mean, I saw nothing driving around that was like, oh my God, like, but apparently it was bad. I don't know. I'm no electrician, but clearly I was out of electric for a little over 3 days. So that was miserable. But, anyways, so let's get back to some, let's start talking about some Buffalo Bills football. I won't be on here long. It's late. I just was bored. So I figured I'd hop on. I appreciate you guys that are hopping on at 11:30 at night. But so I'm hearing some Jordan Poyer news that Jordan Poyer is potentially going to the Miami Dolphins. He's hinting at that. He's going to Tua's birthday party. It's like, yeah, listen, man. I love Jordan Poyer. What's up, Scott? I appreciate you, man. Finally, right? But listen, man. The truth is Brandon Beane wasn't going to pay him because of his age. Let's be real. He's getting up there. He wants big money. And one, we don't have it. I'll tell you what, it would be interesting to see. I would have been interesting to see if we had the money, like if we weren't so caught up in the cap, if we would have paid Jordan Poyer. I'm very curious about that. Or is this a situation where Brandon Beane's just like, he wants too much money and that's a little bit too rich for my blood? I'm almost leaning to he wants a little bit too much money for his age, and Brandon Beane is looking out for the future of the Buffalo Bills and not trying to get caught up on a contract that he might, look back and say, damn, I fucked up. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. Yeah, I'm hearing about listen, man, just like the OBJ thing, I wouldn't get too caught up in it. Listen, here's what there would be a lot that would need to happen for that, to go down. One, obviously, a trade. Two, can we afford him? Because I believe he just got paid from Tennessee. We would have to probably include a player like an Ed Oliver, right? We would have to restructure some contracts. That would be a tough move, man. I would love it. Hell yeah. But I still say offensive line, man, you got to load up, man, because it don't matter. I mean, I know he's a beast. He's going to do better than a Singletary or Cook because of his style. He can run over a lineman, a couple of people, right? But we still need the offensive line. So regardless of who you got back there, but I would absolutely love it. I would absolutely entertain it. But I just don't know how Brandon Beane could pull it off. Once again, though, he is the magic man. I mean, I said this last season. We have no money, don't expect anything, and he went out and got Von Miller and 10 other free agents, right? So can it happen? Sure. Anything can happen, Like my power going out for 3 days. By the way, I never say this, guys. But now that I'm wired up and I can remember things, subscribe, and super chats are always welcome on the show. By the way, I'll be back tomorrow with Mikey at 8 to do because I know you guys love Mr. Mikey, Team Mikey, right? And some of y'all Team Tommy. But tomorrow at 8:00, it'll be me and Mikey on, and we'll go more in depth Buffalo Bills talk. So that's one. Jordan Poyer rumored to go to the Dolphins. It may happen. I mean, he was talking about going to play for a team a state that doesn't have state taxes. That would obviously be Miami. We'll see. I don't think we're going to sign Tremaine Edmonds either. Tremaine Edmonds is also talking about he can't wait to kind of hit the free agent market. And listen, man, he's 24 years old. He's going to get paid. Like I'm telling you, he's going to get paid. And I hate to say it, but I think Tremaine Edmonds, we have yet to see the best of Tremaine Edmonds. I don't think we use him right. I think whoever signs him is going to wind up using him the right way, in my opinion. You're going to see a lot more sacks moving forward probably for Tremaine Edmonds. We just don't use him right, man. We don't. And it sucks because he's a hell of a player still, right? But we just, in our style defense, I don't think he fits. I mean, he does the best he can, but He's not. Trust me, man. We are limited. We are taking away a lot of what Tremaine can bring to this defense away from him. And that's on Sean McDermott and that's on Leslie Frazier. Plain and simple, man. No, I don't. Listen, not at all. Not at all. I don't. Poyer, listen, I want to pay Poyer. I understand why Bean is hesitant. I get it. The age thing, though he's playing very well. I just don't. I know Bean doesn't want to get caught up in with a team with the veteran players and high contracts. I totally get it. I'm with that. Edmonds, however, I just don't think he can afford him. Plain and simple, it's not going to happen. So Poyer's out because even if we had the money, I don't think he would sign him. And Edmonds is out because I just don't think we have the money. Period. Right? And if we did, I think we would sign him. I think Brandon Bean would definitely offer the same or maybe a little bit more to bring back Tremaine Edmonds back to Buffalo. But I just he don't have the money. Right? He just don't have the money. So trade people. So players that could be traded. Ed Oliver's one of them. Very possible. I'll tell you, I'll throw another name out there. I don't know about traded, but Trey White is getting paid big money, man. I know I know it's crazy to say, but does Brandon Bean risk just keeping him and Trey White never returns to what Trey White used to be? And now we're paying this guy that we're stuck with, right? For another, I was thinking about by the way, guys, I was thinking about contracts the other day, a couple bad signings by Brandon Bean. Remember Tyler Croft? God. Come on. I love Brandon Bean. He's made some good moves, but he's made some really dumb moves. Like Tyler Croft, bro. Come on, man. You knew he was an injury prone player before you signed him. And it's not like we signed him to a cheap deal. It wasn't like, you know what I mean? Like a vet deal. We're like, whatever, it's a vet. We paid him pretty good money to do nothing, to get hurt his very first season. And still didn't let him go. You know what I mean? Oh, God, it was so frustrating, man. So frustrating. The other guy, too, God, I forget his name. The edge. If you guys could think of it for me. That was another just dumb signing, man. Yeah, Edmonds getting 19 and 20 years. Yeah, it's not going to happen. I'm telling you, it's not going to. They don't even have the money anyways. Not impressed with Trey even prior to his. See, I was. Here's the deal. Trey White, listen, he's not a guy that's going to pick up stats like interceptions, all that. He's just he was a sticky defender. He got his hand in there and knocked the ball away. Like, he was a good corner. He was one of the best in the league at one point. I'm just very concerned that he lost some speed, it wasn't like he was super fast anyways. He worked on, his ability was getting back to the receiver and knocking the ball out, making a play on the ball, right? He was never really a stat stuffer, but he made plays, made good tackles, knocked the ball away, played, tight defense. But now when he lost a step due to the ACL, I wonder, because of that, if he's going to struggle moving forward. That's concerning. Very concerning. Ruth, hello. Yes. Glad your power's on. Your pup is warm and happy because you're happy. Yes, my pup is actually in my room, like by the heater right now, I think. Like, she's not even by me right now. She's like, yo, the heat's on. We've been together for like 3 days cuddling up. I'm good now. The heat's on. Thank you. So, yeah, we're good, man. Hopefully this does not happen for a long time. Again, because I can't do it. I can't do it. Again, it's always so bad, yo. But I appreciate you. Once again, like, subscribe, super chat. Wait, coming in. Bean should blow up the defense again like he did in 2017 offseason. Start over. It didn't work. Okay, so here's the deal. I kind of agree. I kind of disagree on that. There's some things like, okay, Trey White is interesting to me. That's one. I put it this way. I wouldn't hate the idea of him trading him. I wouldn't hate it as long as you can draft a corner that you feel can replace him or pick up a free agent that you feel can replace a Trey White, right? That's one. Um, Ed Oliver, listen, I like Ed Oliver, but is he worth what we're paying him for that extension? He hasn't lived up to the top 10 pick. There's no doubt about it. Can we get rid of him maybe now? Will team be willing to take him on for probably, and maybe that's a good move to make. Daquan Jones, I think he has one more year on his contract. I think that was our best pickup of last year. I would not get rid of Daquan Jones. Daquan Jones, when he was in there, he made noise. He was definitely a solid player for us last year. I would love to bring back Jordan Phillips and Shaq Lawson as reserve guys, rotational guys. Those guys I think will come back for reasonable contract. I'm hoping because like they were good. Trust me. Shaq Lawson came on at the end of the season before Jordan Phillips got hurt. He was a man. He was balling out in my opinion. But Gregory Rousseau, I thought he had a good sophomore year. I did. I think he can get better with Von Miller helping him out some more with some off-season training. Going to whatever academy you need to go to. I know he went to Von Miller academy that he had the defensive thing that he holds for pass rusher. I think it was called Pass Rushing Academy, something like that. I would like for him to get more involved with that. Improve his game because he's so ripe. I would like for us to move on from AJ. Right? It's like the time's done. It was a bad draft pick. Let's be real here. Who else? Who am I missing here? Dane Jackson, I believe, is a free agent. I would not bring him back. I wouldn't. I think he can get better on the free agent market, even a vet. Backups play better than some starters. Yeah, I agree. Now here's some good news though. Here's some good news. So I felt like Kaiir Elam came on as the season went on. I thought he started to play a little better. I didn't think he played bad at all, even in the beginning. I just think he was going through some rookie curves, and that's why Christian Benford winded up starting over him. I really like what I saw from Benford before the injury. Curious what they do with him. They put him to safety. Very, very possible. But I do like, I do like that draft pick, man. Solid player. So there are some good pieces still on this defense coming back. Rousseau, Kaiir Elam, Christian Benford, Daquan Jones, right? Who else am I missing here? Micah Hyde. Can't believe I'm Micah Hyde. So Micah Hyde still has a contract with us. So there's still some good key pieces. DeMar Hamlin, I don't know, man. It was a weird interview that he did with Michael Strahan. I got to admit, man, sounds like almost like he's going to sue somebody. It's just weird. He didn't want to get into it. What happened? Like what the doctors told him, why that happened. Really odd. I don't know. I could be wrong. I could be grasping at straws here, but Jason, glad to see you're like, yeah, Jesus, bro. It was a nightmare, man. Dallas, yeah, man. They need to. Listen, man. You draft them, you gotta listen, especially in the first 3 rounds. You gotta play your players, man. Other than that, then you made a mistake. And Bernard, except for Bernard, was a terrible draft pick. Awful. I don't know what the hell they were thinking there. So yeah, him. I don't blame him for not playing because he's just not. He's not a linebacker. He's undersized. He's a special team player at best. Scott, they didn't play Elam and they should have. He should have been a star if they played him full time. F coaching is irritating. School. So yeah, listen, I don't know if I totally agree with you. You got it. We don't see what they see at camp. You know what I mean? Clearly, they were impressed with Benford a little bit more early on than Elam. But I will say, with Dane Jackson's struggles down, during the season, like It started what, week 3, week 4, kind of like Dane Jackson really after the neck thing. Dane Jackson just was not the same. Not that he was anything special to begin with, but we were hoping for better, right? Because he wasn't terrible last season. But it just wasn't there. And that was the time you could put Kyer Elam in, and they just didn't trust him enough. I don't know why, because when he did come in, I thought he played very well. I didn't think he played great, though, Scott. I think he had some learning curves to do there. But you got it. This is a first-round pick. You throw him in there. You know what I mean? Especially with no Trey White yet, right? Trey White wasn't back yet. So, like, what, week 15? I don't remember when Trey White came back. It was so late in the season, right? Week 14, something like that. But still, either way, I don't understand it. But we'll see next season, because I'll tell you what, now you're down. Listen, Dane leaves, which more likely he does. He signs somewhere else. Now you got Trey White, if you keep him, Kyer Elam, and Christian Benford. Yeah, man, that's it. So we'll see. We'll see. Trey's a head case. Yeah, I don't know if Trey's a head case, but I just don't know if Trey mentally and physically is back. I mean, I kind of felt like offenses were picking on him right when he came back. I felt like he was getting beat right away, which is crazy. You would think they would attack like Dane Jackson. They went after our number 1 corner right away in that Cincinnati game, right away. And he got burnt, man. And he didn't look or sound like a player who was confident at all. His post game, you could just kind of tell him, and maybe he knows that he's not the same. However, I will say, let's see what happens next season if we do keep him. Which listen, we probably will. I'm just throwing that out there that you never know. They could cut him or trade him. Just throwing that out there. The likelihood of that is probably not, but let's see here. Dallas. I'm sorry if I'm missing some of your 13 seconds shot. Yeah, man. Fuck, dude. Well, that was more on coaching. I mean, let's be real here. I don't know if I trust our coaching defensive philosophy anymore. The bend don't break McDermott defense, because that's what it's called. I don't even want to call it a nickel or zone defense anymore. Right? Let's be real. It's just a bend don't break. And the problem is it breaks the worst times. Right? Like, we can go 14-3 again, right? And we lose 3 games, and that's where our defense broke, right? Against top-notch offenses, right? And then you get in the playoffs and you're playing the best, and we often break. It's just what it is, man. And I don't think that's a good way of going about your defense. Like, I don't like that. Like, I just hey, I gotta, my Buffalo Bills, we're a bend don't break defense. It's like, oh God, no, we don't put pressure on quarterbacks. No, oh yeah, we always give the easy outs. We let a team drive right down the field, but then we usually kind of can hold them to a field goal. It's like, oh golly, man. And that's McDermott, man. Guys, I hate to say it. Listen, I guess Frazier's the defensive coordinator, but ultimately McDermott is a defensive coach. That's his saying. That's what he wants. Y'all don't remember when Sean McDermott took over playing defensive play calling, I believe was it 2019? I believe it was. He took over for a couple games. Remember? And that was like a big deal. And Leslie Frazier was like, oh, I don't mind. I didn't mind. I'm sure he minded. And I got to say, too, Sean McDermott's kind of screwing over Leslie Frazier for a head coaching job. I'll be honest with you. Because if that's not the way, because who knows whose defense that really is, right? Just saying. Right? Look at the offensive coaches. Even the guy that you guys don't like, Ken Dorsey, which is unbelievable because I thought he did a good job for his first year. Even he got some interviews for head coaching. Think about it. Even Ken Dorsey, after his first season of playing call as a play caller, got some interviews. Leslie Frazier, zip, zero, nothing. That tells you everything you need to know. Everything. Daniel, the problem with McDermott is he still coaches like a DC and not, yeah, bro. And I'll be honest with you too. I don't even know if he's holding Dorsey back, because from what I remember with him and Dable, they butted heads a lot. And maybe Dable could have been more, and I think that's why he left, because Dable got cute sometimes. He liked to have some trick plays. He liked to run a, kind of a fun style offense. I think McDermott didn't like that. I'll be honest with you. I think McDermott wanted more of a traditional, hard-nosed offense that runs, right? And unfortunately, McDermott, this isn't Pittsburgh. This isn't, old school Pittsburgh team with a good offensive line. This isn't the Dallas Cowboys where we can have Emmitt Smith just run through wide open holes. It wasn't like that. But McDermott, I felt like he almost wants to play this safe football all around. Safe on offense, safe on defense. And you never will win that way. You never will win. Look at the best coaches. They all take chances. All of them. Right? McDermott, like, very rarely will you see McDermott, like, take a chance. It just doesn't. Like, he's so conservative. And that's what you get when you have a first-year play caller, and Ken Dorsey's going to go by what his coach probably tells him. Hey, man, I don't want us to get too cute here. I want you to run this type of offense. You think Ken Dorsey's going to go, nah, man, can't do that. Can't do that, coach. I'm going to run things my way. Of course not, guys. He's not going to backtalk the coach. Coach gave him the job. So I'm just saying, I wouldn't point the finger too much at these coordinators, because it all goes, there's one guy that's in charge of all this. That's Sean McDermott. So I give him one more year, in my opinion. I don't care. Listen, people can get mad at me all they want, and I give McDermott all the credit in the world for what he's done for this team. But, man, guy, come on, man. Like, you're on what? Year 7 now coming up? Like, I think you probably passed due, bro. I'll be honest with you. I give coaches 3 years, man. 3 years, if you can't improve the team, fine. He improved the team. Okay, so you deserve a little bit more. But now, bro, it's like, okay, man, I get it. You can win the East. Cool. Wow. We've done there. Been there, done that, man. Let's get to the next step, man. Okay, come on, man. Let's Super Bowl anytime soon? No? You're just going to keep on playoffs at one round and out, divisional round and out? It's not good enough, man. There comes a time where we need to change, man. McDermott wants a Derek heavy. Yeah, I know, but he needs the offensive line. If he doesn't get the offensive line, it's not going to work. Exactly. Yeah. I know. But we had to. Because we have an offensive line. Coaches who were defensive coordinator typically want a conservative offense. Yeah, exactly. Every well-coached team schemes to the strength of their players. I agree with that too, by the way. And that's another thing I got to say. And that's a great comment. We don't necessarily have the talent on the field. And that's why I kept telling you guys, like, Ken Dorsey, he only could do so much. If your offensive line sucks, right? It can't run block. You're going to probably go away from running. You're probably going to pass a little bit more, right? If they're a better pass blocking team. But the problem is, last year, the pass blocking was just as bad as the run blocking. So Josh Allen took a lot of sacks. He was under pressure a lot. That's why his interceptions went up, because he was just trying to make a play out of nothing. That's why you saw Josh Allen I think he led the league in most passes batted down. I'm telling you guys, listen, that offensive line was atrocious. I don't care what anyone says, right? That was one of the worst offensive line I've seen. It has to change. And that goes to the guy on top. Obviously, that's Brandon Beane's job. Brandon Beane has to draft offensive linemen. He has to go out and get better free agent offensive linemen. You can't keep doing 1 year contract for a vet player that's washed up. No offense, Saffold. I was excited for you at first, but you showed your age on that field. You were not the Saffold of Tennessee. That I know. He is a tremendous player. I absolutely love Josh Allen. Thank God for Josh Allen. We'd be in a lot of trouble. Think about it. If we had no Josh Allen with that offensive line, oh my God, it'd be awful. We'd be terrible. We'd be a 6-1 team, maybe 5 wins. Derrick Henry will be 30 this year. That's the age where running backs start to fall off. I agree. But not every running back. There is an occasional running back like a Adrian Peterson, like Frank Gore, that can play way above that 30 at a high level. So Derrick Henry could be one of those guys. Only thing that's concerning is he is a workhorse, and he's been a workhorse in Tennessee. He's taken a lot of hits. He's run the ball a lot of carries. So how much does he have left in the tank? Who knows? I could tell you he's built. He's a dude is in tremendous physical condition. But every player's different, man. I'll be honest with you, but you are right. Running backs tend to fade off in their 30s. So it would be a little risky. I still think, man, listen, cool if you got him, but work that offensive line, man. I'm telling you. There will be changes. If things don't go good early next season, Jay is in his prime. Yeah, man, we're wasting his prime away. 100% wasting his prime away. Right. Okay, I'm sorry. You were going to him. Know your role, Jabroni. Personally, I'm happy to see a resurgence of a credible run game. Listen, we've been waiting for that. So when's the last time we really had a running game? Probably 2017, right? Like 2015, 2016, 2017. But think about it. Look at the line that we had at that time. Of course, we had a dynamic player in LaShawn McCoy, Shade McCoy. But we also had Deion Dawkins, who was, he was young, but he was playing good. Next to him was Richie. Then we had, I forget who was to the right of him. What was his name? Guys, correct me if I'm wrong. I forget his name. There's a couple other players that were solid on that line. I can't believe I'm messing up the names here, but we had a good line at that time. We even had good John something. We had also good reserves that come in. We haven't had that since Richie left. Pretty much, we've been downhill, right? So 2018, who did we bring in? 2018, nobody. 2019, I believe we brought in Mitch Morse to take over center, which was smart. Like, that was a good signing, and that's another guy I got to say, Mitch Morse. His time's kind of up, man. Like, no offense, but I feel like, he's just not what he once was, and that's okay, man. He's taken a lot of hits, right? Like through his head or concussions. He's just not the same player. He was great addition. It was a great addition for him to come when he came, right? Helped out Josh Allen, right? He was with Patrick Mahomes. It was like he knew how to work with a younger quarterback, is what I'm saying. But it's like Josh is not young anymore. Mitch Morse is not young. He's old. He's beaten up. Concussion City. You can't count on him for a whole season. Time to move on. It's time to get a center, right? Or go ahead and put Bates at center if that's what you're doing. Just saying. But in order to get a running game going, you got to get an offensive line. Got to. Can't continuing with this bad offensive line. For sure, you need a front O line that will make a good run game. You have to have a good. Listen, you can if you have a really good offensive line, you can make a running back who's average look good. Like these are facts. You can make a quarterback who looks average look good. I mean, look at the quarterbacks that filled in for Tom Brady when like Matt Castle, and he got a contract. Remember him, Matt Castle? He looked okay, right? He didn't look bad because he had protection. I'm just saying, like, you protect your quarterback. Those quarterbacks, if they have the time, they can look pretty good. I'm looking at the San Francisco 49ers. Come on, man. Brock Purdy, I'm not saying he's bad, but come on, guys. Like, they gave him some time back there, right? He wasn't getting demolished back there, right? And if you have time Unless you're Nathan Peterman, you can look pretty good, right? If you have the time. Just saying. Josh Allen has never, swear to you guys, I would say 2020 is the most that I've ever seen Josh Allen, like, since we got him. I would say 2020 is where the offensive line played pretty decent as far as pass blocking, never run blocking. But pass blocking, he had time to throw. Like, that's why in 2020, if you saw Josh Allen's stats were like unbelievable, right? Very good stat line, right? That's when he popped, right? Because the offensive line held better, right? Josh Allen could go back there, sit back there, right? Look at his reads, right? Not so much in 2021, not so much in 2022, right? You see him when he's under pressure, man. He's just trying to get rid of the ball, trying to make a play happen. Because Josh will never just throw the ball away. And if he did, guys, we'd be 3 and out a lot, because there's always pressure coming. There's always pressure coming. So what do you want him to do? Just keep throwing the ball away? You're gonna boo. If we're playing a Buffalo, boo him at halftime for just throwing or check down. Can't do that, man. You just got to fix that offensive line, man. Right? You can't keep fucking around. 90s Bills, Kelly had all. Yeah, bro. That's what I'm saying. Look, think about it. If the Bills had the Cowboys line. Now, I'm listening. The Bills' offensive line was pretty good, but the Dallas Cowboys' offensive line was one of the greatest of all time. I know I'm picking one of the greatest, but imagine. Okay, so I'll say, imagine the Detroit Lions when Barry Sanders played. If he had that offensive line, oh my God, Barry Sanders would have the most rushing yards by like 10,000. I'm for real. He would demolish Emmitt Smith's record. It would not even be close. He was way ahead of Emmitt Smith when he retired with a crappy offensive line. Awful. So offensive line do make everything work, man. And we just don't have it. We don't have it. Matt Castle looks better today. Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know about that. That makes me think the draft may be different. Listen, I think the draft this year, in my opinion, they've been concentrating way too much on the defense. And I know we have to fix our defense up some. I agree with you guys there. But I don't think that's our biggest weakness right now. Our biggest weakness is all on the offensive side, in my opinion. I think the defense, you can kind of get away with drafting some, cheaper free agents, bringing some, role guys, some vet guys, whatever you want to call them. But I think the offense is something that we've been avoiding for the longest time. I'm being honest with you guys. For the longest time, it's time that Brandon Beane pays attention to the offense and drafts for the offense this year. I don't want to hear we're drafting the best player on the board. We need a draft for need. And what's need? Offensive line, right? A wide receiver, right? I think another wide receiver. We haven't had a tall receiver here, and who knows? I can't tell you the last bigger receiver we had. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even care if they drafted half the draft offensive lineman. I really wouldn't care. Just pick them right. And a receiver, we definitely need a receiver. Also, a linebacker. If Edmonds goes, which he's probably going to go, you might want to think about drafting a linebacker. I wouldn't even mind trading up, losing some picks if you really like a guy. If you think he's a playmaker, go for it. Yeah, listen, they just paid. The problem is that they just paid Dawson Knox. They're not. I'm still with Knox. I think Knox. Listen, Knox lost his brother. He also had some foot thing he was dealing with. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt this season. I also feel like they use Knox a lot in pass blocking and run blocking even. They did. They had him back there helping Josh Allen a lot because the offensive line was so awful. So let's not get too concerned right now with tight end and Dawson Knox. I think if we improve the offensive line, you can get Knox back to where he was in 2021, because he was going up. You guys, I think he was tied with Uh, with Kelsey with touchdowns for a tight end last year. He was a good tight end. I'm telling you guys. That's why he got paid. But if we're just going to use him to pass block, then yeah, that's bad. I mean, real bad. Think about it too. We signed OJ Howard. You guys remember him? So, and they cut him for a reason. I mean, obviously, you guys saw I think his first game he looked good, and after that he fell off the. I think he got cut later. I'm not sure. I did too. I listen. I thought OJ Howard was going to work out, but you see what I mean? Sometimes, guys, though, sometimes the coaches see stuff we don't see. Because I was mad about that. I was like, why would you cut OJ Howard? It doesn't make sense. He's a freak athlete. He's shown potential, but clearly he had another opportunity after we cut him, and he just didn't work out. So clearly, the coaches, that's their job to evaluate talent. They were right about OJ Howard. But they've been wrong on a lot of players too. You know what I mean? So they're not going to always get it right. They're not going to always get it wrong. You know what I mean? So, but that's their job ultimately, man. They're the one we're going to point the finger at if things don't go right. So, only way we go get a second All Pro tight end is they sign Gronk to 1 year down. Forget Gronk, man. I'm not going to go back. I can't do that whole let's get this guy out of retirement, thing. I can't do it, man. Gronk's retired, bro. I don't. I get what you're saying, but I'm good with that, man. Just build the team the right way. Like when Brandon Bean came here, he had the right mindset, and I still believe he does. But I kind of feel like he thought the team was built up already, and his draft picks can just be like take chances on whoever, and we'll just like stash him away. We don't need him right away. Let's build this guy. If he works out, I look like a genius. Let's not draft for need. Let's just like it. Just I don't know, man. I kind of felt like maybe he thought the team was better than what it was, right? That his free agent signings were going to work out better than he thought, right? I don't know. Or maybe he thought that guys like Isaiah McKenzie would, was going to play better because he had a great camp, right? Just saying, like there's things happen, man. Things happen, but he was wrong. Kelvin Benjamin, ugh, that was his first in-season trade. You know that it was awful. I think that's why he's so hesitant on in-season trades, man. Is that Kelvin Benjamin deal? That was so bad. God, he was so bad. You know what? He had potential though. He did. If he wasn't such a lazy ass, he was a big receiver, and he just was lazy. But he had good hands. Think about it. When he was with Carolina, he had good stats. He was working hard with Cam Newton. But when he came to Buffalo, he got that contract. He was like, he thought he was too good for everybody else. He's the number one. You guys remember that when he was saying, I'm still the number one. I'm the number one. He was so confident. I don't think he wanted or cared to work. You know what I mean? And he just let himself go, and he just went to shit. It happens. They started bringing out. They started out bringing in Panther. Like, yeah. I don't. I listen, man. Some of the signings I don't get. I honestly like the star didn't work out. I forget the other guy I was trying to say earlier. That was a terrible signing. He came in with Star. Scott, help me out. I can't believe I'm drawing a blank because he didn't do anything here. And we winded up keeping him for like his whole contract. We could have cut him and saved like $8 million. Instead, we kept him. It starts with a T. He was an edge rusher. Can't believe I'm drawing him because he didn't do anything. Right? I wanted him to be good. Scott, help me out, man, or Daniel. The edge rusher that came in with Star that year. The first year that Beam was signing talent over here. I know you guys can get it because I'm just drawing a blank here. Yes, Trent. Yes. Terrible signing. That was a bad one. By Brandon Bean. Not only listen, I don't even mind if you listen, you're gonna make mistakes here and there. But why would you keep him when you had an opportunity to cut him finally, and you still stick with him his final year when you could have saved him. Like that was Trent Murphy, right? Terrible. Like, what are you doing? Like, why would you be so stubborn? And that lies on on Sean McDermott too. It was a Sean McDermott guy. Oh God. AJ Epinesa. No, it was Trent Murphy. Right? Awful. 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 Just a player that just took our money and left. I mean, let's be real. Took the money and bounced. Did nothing. He was injured. Tyler Croft took the money and left. Right? Another terrible signing. Yeah, Trent Murphy. Oh God, dude. So bad. Just took the money. Like I said, took the money. But that's on coaching and Brandon Bean to cut him when you had a chance. I don't get it. But anyways, man, you can't keep doing those mistakes. Can't keep doing the mistakes, man. And once again, you got to go back to the drawing board here and you got to fix that offense. Got to do it, man. Got to do it. But anyways, guys, I just want to come on here for a little bit, chat with you guys. I'll tell you that I'm okay. Power is back on. And I appreciate you guys for hopping on. I do. Love you guys. I will be on tomorrow at 8 and with Mikey. So if you guys want to come on tomorrow, I'll put up I'll schedule the show early tomorrow so you guys know you can, hit the notification bell, all that stuff. And you guys can see Mikey, man. So I appreciate you guys once again. Thank you for coming on. And as always, go Bills. Bills Mafia #1. I love you guys. And I'm out. Peace.